Hey guys! In this video, we will look at the top 10 mechanical keyboards available on the market today. We made this list based on our own opinion, research, and customer reviews. We've considered their quality, features, and values when narrowing down the best choices possible. If you want more information and updated pricing on the products mentioned, check the links in the description box below. So, here are the top 10 mechanical keyboards. Number 1. Logitech G513 Carbon. The Logitech G513 is a fantastic mechanical keyboard. We really like the solid construction and the sharp, clicky feel of the keys. Its no-fuss design gives it a clean and simple look, too. The keys have bright RPG LEDs underneath them, which can be controlled via the G-Hub app. You can do a number of fancy tricks with the G-Hub app, like turning the keyboard into an audio visualizer from the sound output of your computer or sampling and reproducing the colors on your screen. When it comes to mechanical keyboards, you'll need to know a thing or two about switch types. Switches are the mechanisms underneath each key on a mechanical keyboard. Different switch types impact how a keyboard feels. Some switches give tactile feedback while others give audio feedback. The G513 offers 3 switch options: blue, brown, and red. We tested the blue version, which has a sharp and clicky feel. The blue switches provide a great deal of audio feedback, as there's a high-pitched click and rattle when pressed. Number 2. Havik Mechanical Keyboard and Mouse Combo. Mechanical keyboards are often expensive, but there are some decent low-cost options available. The Havik Mechanical Keyboard and Mouse Combo is one of those options. For the price point, you're getting a decent mechanical keyboard and a fairly good mouse. There are some compromises, though. The keyboard has a decent amount of travel with a nice clicky sound, but the unbranded switches don't have the same positive feel as their more expensive cousins. You get the sound, but not the same distinct feel as you press a key. In other words, you don't feel it when the key hits the bottom as you do with other keyboards. Each individual key has its own LED light, and the Havik software, Windows only, provides a good range of lighting schemes and fancy effects. These lights aren't as bright as others, though. The effect is more subdued. There are effects like flash_away, where the key you press lights up, followed by a flash that travels along the row of keys. Number 3. SteelSeries Apex Pro. Even though the SteelSeries Apex Pro is a full-sized keyboard with a number pad, it doesn't take up too much room on the desktop. The build quality is top class, with a matte black aluminum board, and an incredibly comfortable, soft-touch wrist rest that connects to the keyboard magnetically. There's a small OLED at the top right, along with a clickable roller and a large key that serve as dedicated media controls. You can make the OLED display your gamer tag or even a GIF animation, but it also offers some welcome feedback on your chosen settings and profiles, so you don't need to tab out of your game to tweak things. The SteelSeries Apex Pro features bright RGB lighting, which is also fully configurable on a per-key basis. The SteelSeries Engine 3 software is fairly easy to understand. You can set main and meta key bindings, use a macro editor, tweak the actuation, set up lighting effects and colors, and even load a custom image or GIF for the OLED screen. There's room for 5 onboard profiles. So get your brand new product mentioned, check the links in the description box below. Number 4. Kinesis Freestyle Pro. The Kinesis Freestyle Pro is an unusual keyboard because it's split into 2 parts, which are connected via cable. One half holds the left side of the keyboard, from Q to D on the top row of letters, while the other holds the rest, Y to P and other keys. This setup works surprisingly well because it allows you to tilt the 2 parts, which puts your wrists at a more natural angle. The optional VIP3 accessory kit further enhances this with a wrist rest and supports that angle the keyboard to form a tent shape. Again, this can be a big plus if you have RSI, repetitive strain injury, or wrist issues, as it allows you to vary the angle by moving the stands to different positions quickly and easily. If you are someone that suffers from RSI, or don't want to be someone who does, the Kinesis is worth the extra cost, as it's the most adjustable and configurable keyboard we looked at by a considerable margin. Number 5, Varmila VA87M. If you have limited space on your desktop, the compact 10-keyless Varmila VA87M might be just what you're looking for. Most people won't miss the number pad, and it allows you to get your mouse a little closer, which is more comfortable. This is a solidly built board with a very straightforward design. The durable PBT keycaps come in a variety of colors or artistic finishes, and you can pick the key switches you want to pair them with. Varmila offers its own ECV2 switches, but also carries the popular Cherry MX range. Key presses are satisfying, and it's easy to type accurately at speed. We tested the ECV2 switches, and there's a definite click when keys hit bottom, which might not be so noticeable if you have a lighter touch. There's no software for the Varmila VA87M, which means you can't program keys. There's no macro support and no room for dedicated media keys either. The backlighting is just white with a few levels of brightness and a breathing effect, but that's it for customization. Number 6, Happy Hacking Professional Hybrid. Do you know how hackers in the movies have strange-looking keyboards with indecipherable buttons? That's not what the Happy Hacking Professional Hybrid is. Instead, it's the type of keyboard that a real hacker might use. It's incredibly customizable and comfortable to type on. It's a 40% keyboard, which means it's lacking the numeric keypad and directional keys that are on larger models. The directional keys can be accessed by holding down the function and pressing the semicolon and apostrophe keys next to the return key, though. The layout of other keys is worth noting, as it's a bit unusual. The caps lock key is replaced by a large control key, which makes sense if you're hitting shortcuts like Ctrl-C more often than typing in caps. The keyboard can also be configured to work with Windows, Mac, or Android devices by flipping the dip switches on the base. These switches also allow you to change the function of the delete key between delete and backspace and the function of the command keys. So get your brand new product mentioned, check the links in the description box below. Number 7, HyperX Alloy Origins. The HyperX Alloy Origins is a mid-priced mechanical keyboard that has lights to spare. I mean, the entire thing is illuminated by bright LEDs. Whether that's a good or bad thing depends on your personal preference, but the lights are very controllable. The HyperX Ingenuity software, available for Windows 10 only, allows you to control the color, pattern, and brightness of the lights right down to each individual key. There are also a number of cool lighting effects like the explosion. Press a key and a wave of red flame spreads through the keyboard. The fade effect is rather fun, too. Each key you press lights up, then slowly fades out in your chosen color. The HyperX switches have a soft, slightly squishy feel that would work well for gaming. It takes little force to press a key, so you can hammer away at the fire button for as long as you want without straining anything. The keys are well spaced and have a slight indent, so it's easy to find a key by touch. Number 8, SteelSeries Apex Pro TKL. Do you need a screen on your keyboard? SteelSeries seems to think that you do, so they put a small monochrome OLED display on the top right corner of the Apex Pro TKL. This can be used to display whatever you want, from a still image to video or game-related information. The chat application Discord, for instance, can display messages on the screen, so you can focus on the game. How useful that is debatable, though. Most people keep their eyes on the screen when gaming, as glancing down at the keyboard to see how much ammo you have left is a sure way to get fragged. The Apex Pro is unusual in being somewhat adjustable. The SteelSeries Engine app, which is available for macOS and Windows, allows you to adjust the actuation point of the keys, which is the depth that you have to press the key to trigger the switch. This can be adjusted from 0.4 mm, so you barely need to press the key to register, to 3.6 mm. The idea is to set it low for gaming so you can fire with a gentle touch and high for typing out homework when you need to press the key down fully. Number 9. Cherry MX Board 3.0S. Given that Cherry is the manufacturer of the ever-popular Cherry MX key switches, we were excited to try out a full keyboard from the brand. The aluminum MX Board 3.0S has an angular, low-profile design and feels reassuringly solid. This is a full-sized keyboard and, as you'd expect from Cherry, there's a choice of MX switches. We tested the silent red switches and they are a pleasure to type on and very quiet, as promised. There's also RGB lighting, dedicated media controls, and the option to program keys and record macros. There's no wrist rest with this keyboard, and strangely there are no fold-out feet either. So it sits flat on your desktop. We didn't run into any issues using the Cherry MX Board 3.0S for work or for gaming, but nothing stood out as especially good either. The lighting is relatively subdued compared to some of the best gaming keyboards, but we appreciate the fact you can change colors and effects with the function keys on the board. Deficiencies in the software and the lack of any height adjustment make this a tough sell, particularly when you can get the same excellent Cherry MX switches in a lot of other boards. Number 10. Corsair K95 Platinum XT. The crown prince of Corsair's range of RGB keyboards is the K95 Platinum, a large, heavy keyboard that has plenty of red, green, and blue blinkies. It's available with Cherry MX Blue, MX Brown, or Silver switches, which provide a clicky, quiet, or fast action. We tested the model with Silver switches, which feature short travel and low actuation force. That means you can type with a quick stab of the finger rather than a long press. It's a very different experience to the long, more forceful click of an MX Blue-based keyboard. However, it's better suited to those who are used to laptop keyboards or other devices with keys that don't push in very far. It's still a fairly noisy keyboard to work on, but with more of a rattling sound than the click-click of others. The left side of the keyboard features 5 programmable macro keys with textured tops. These, as well as any other key on the keyboard, can be reprogrammed with Corsair's IQ software to produce either a keystroke or a pre-recorded macro sequence of keystrokes. If you're regularly typing in names, code sequences, or other long repetitive things, this can be a big time saver. So these are the best mechanical keyboards, which you can buy this year. If you know any other mechanical keyboards, which we missed in the video, you can tell us the name in the comment. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.